Yo, 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 what it do, y'all? This your boy King Ed the Great coming at y'all with another video to start off this wonderful weekend. So while I was laying back, relaxing, I thought I'd go ahead and check out Ric Flair's 30 for 30 documentary. And I thought it was pretty good. It got more in depth than Ric's personal life. It talked about his struggles outside of the wrestling business, how him juggling his personal persona with his on-screen persona. But what got me to do this video was when I seen Snoop Dogg up there, and Snoop Dogg was talking about, man, we wanted to be like Ric Flair. Ric Flair was one of us, and we wanted to be like Flair because he had the limousines, he had the Cadillacs. He was the dude that we wanted to be like. I said, stop it right here. Stop it right here. Because let me tell y'all something. Ric Flair wanted to be like us. Let me repeat myself again. Ric Flair wanted to be us at the end of the day. Just like a lot of these wrestlers that came up in that time period. I'm going to tell y'all this. They got that charisma from being around a lot of brothers. A lot of certified brothers in the game. Pimps, players, fast talkers, hustlers. All of them was involved with those territories. And you know Ric Flair being from Minnesota, he going to Charlotte and he's traveling around. He's soaking up a lot of that charisma from being around a lot of brothers, especially in the South. You can also say, yeah, he got the style from Buddy Rogers, but the charisma came from black people. The limousine ride and the jet flying, that's all players and pimps. Then you could say the same for Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes at least admitted that his speaking style as an orator and how he built his charisma, that came from witnessing a lot of pastors, witnessing Martin Luther King, watching a lot of preachers, black preachers at his Baptist church. That's how he delivered that preaching style. And it goes on and on. I'm going to tell y'all another gem. See, this is where the business is losing right now because they're not really embracing a lot of black culture. It's more so like nerds and video games that a lot of these guys are embracing. They're not really embracing the black culture like that. You can pretty much say that with Hulk Hogan, where would Hulk Hogan be without Mr. T? Mr. T made Hulk Hogan cool to black people because Mr. T was the man at the time. You can say the same. Roddy Piper, all these guys. They all been around black people, building that charisma, building that style. All of them did. Then you go on to the 90s. And you see gangs. You see gang banging in wrestling. You see Conan coming out there with the bandana wrapped around like Tupac. The NWO, they had to embrace gangster rap culture to be cool. Remember that scene with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and the NWO, they were beating down Ric Flair, and Kevin Nash had the bandana around his head saying, "Thug life, baby, thug life." Then you see Hulk Hogan walking around with Dennis Rodman using the Jimi Hendrix Voodoo Child joint. Come on, man. Black culture pretty much built the business. It pretty much developed the business to what it was. And we could also say that people want to say, yeah, Tyson and McMahon is what catapulted the business. But without Mike Tyson was the key element to what made WrestleMania 14 pop. Mike Tyson. Nobody cared about Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold. When I was in school, everybody was talking about Tyson and Austin. Nobody cared about Shawn Michaels. Let's be clear. Nobody cared about Shawn Michaels versus Austin. Everybody was talking about Mike Tyson versus Stone Cold. Because basically, if you really look at WrestleMania with The Miz, John Cena, and The Rock, Shawn Michaels was basically The Miz status. Because everybody was talking about Cena versus Rock. So you notice a lot of black culture being incorporated within a lot of these wrestlers. But the sad part about the business today is they don't respect black wrestlers, but yet they'll take the swagger, they'll take the characteristics, they'll take the charisma, they'll take the way they dress, and they'll put, even with John Cena. John Cena, before he discovered hip hop, he was pretty much a bodybuilder. He was bland. He became the doctor of thugonomics, battles. Then he started using the spinner chain. You know what I'm saying? He came on. Hold on, I'm trying to reconnect back to what I was saying about John Cena. See, with John Cena, he was bland. He was very bland. Gimmick, and it pushed him over. Then when he won the title, he changed his whole gimmick. He was a Marine now. He didn't care about hip hop. He stopped rapping. He did all that. He didn't do none of that no more. So that's what I mean. A lot of these guys, they use hip hop culture. They use hip hop culture to pretty much find their element, to find their charisma, to develop that personality. And when they blow, that's it. So going back to what I was saying, I feel that black people deserve more proper due within the wrestling business. We really do. We deserve a proper due because our charisma, our style, our language, our slang, all of that was adapted into white wrestlers. You can even say Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin basically was the white Bad News Brown. For those who don't know who Bad News Brown is, Bad News Brown was the lone wolf with the bald head and the beard. He didn't have the tattoos. He didn't do all the crazy stuff like Stone Cold would end up doing when he started developing his character more. But he was the lone wolf, like Steve Austin was. He didn't have no friends. He didn't care about nobody but himself. So that's what it's all about, man. And I wasn't feeling what Snoop was saying with that because a lot of these guys want to be like us. They all want to be like us at the end of the day. So that's my thoughts about that. It's a great documentary, nevertheless. I just disagree with what Snoop said about us wanting to be like Ric Flair when Ric Flair wanted to be like us. So subscribe and hit that like button. There's going to probably be a little glitch issues with this video here because I'm doing a live on a different setting. But holla at your boy.